Hey two-wheeled friends, we are out here at beautiful Lake Kempesca mid-October checking out all of the fall foliage. I have my wife on the back with me, and we have some of our own Bluetooth hooked up right now. We both have headphones in with the microphone connected to our phones, and we called one another so we can hear each other talk and try to do a dual type vlog where we both can kind of interject and she can hear me on the back.
I can hear him.
We're gonna roll around the lake a little bit more. From here you can kind of see all the colors around the lake, but we're gonna go check it out a little closer, and we'll talk to Molly a little bit about her riding on motorcycle.
I'm totally gonna be biased, but South Dakota and Minnesota have the prettiest colors when it comes to fall season.
Yeah, I think all the northern states are gonna have a lot of nice color in the fall, but yeah, definitely a lot of beauty here in the fall. Definitely my favorite time of season.
You know, I like the snow, I like winter, but seeing all the dead brown trees during winter just makes me sad.
So why don't you tell all of the people watching right now what it was like the first time that you got on the back of a motorcycle. And I know the first time was the Honda.
Yeah.
So compare the Honda to this Road King with it as well.
Okay, so I never had any interest in motorcycles. Not that I didn't like them. I just never really had interest in them. I was more of a four-wheeler, go driving a bunch of dirt on gravel, drive through mud, whatever. So when Dustin started talking about getting a motorcycle, I was just like, okay, whatever. You know, that's the way
from the guy who's got to do the editing, it's easier being able to alternate between cameras when one is forward facing and one is rear facing versus both facing the same direction.
Well, I could barely hear myself because I was picking up all the noise from your mic, so it was really loud in my ear, so I could barely even hear what I was saying, so I was just focusing on what I was saying instead of it actually pointing at me.
Yeah.
So I'm 5'10", and being on the back of the Honda was a little bit of a challenge for me because I felt really squished up, but I didn't want to sit too close to Dustin because then he'd be really squished up. So we took a trip down to Sioux Falls, and he had his eye on this Road King that we're on right now.
I think so. I couldn't hear you for part of it, so I didn't know. It felt like maybe I was sitting against your cord, and when you adjusted, I don't know if it pulled the microphone a little or which cord that was, but oh, okay. It's like I can hear you good now, and I don't know if it's maybe just the cell reception, you know, that type of thing, but yeah, I think you covered a lot of it, you know, of how, you know, that first time I remember you being stiff as a board, and because I had told you when you're on the back not to be flopping around like a fish out of water, basically. Because I hadn't really ridden with anybody on the back either, so, you know, it was a new experience for me. So I was a little nervous about it too. So telling you to not be wobbling around back there, you know, then you were stiff, and I'm like, well, okay, now that's really counteracting. And when I go around corners, don't lean the opposite direction. You gotta lean with me, because that's just how bikes are. The centrifugal, I can't say that word, the force. So you just kind of have to move in unison, and yeah, and it really just kind of depends too, you know, like if you're like really leaning, I mean, sometimes you got to lean the other way if it's slow. You know, slow speeds are a little different than like what we're doing now. It's just kind of go with it, you know. And you've done a lot better on the back now too. I'm used to it, and this Road King is a little better for it too, with having the extra weight. They're gonna put that bike path back through there. Yeah. Yeah, it'd take quite a bit for you to fall off sideways, you know. And with the backrest, like you mentioned, that makes a big difference. Right. Yeah, and that's exactly how you have to be as a rider. I mean, yeah, you're a passenger rider, so it's the same, but like as the actual one controlling the bike, you want to keep yourself relaxed. You don't want to be all stiff. You want to sit up straight. And, you know, just don't lock the arms and just kind of relax and just hold on to the bars and don't be tense. You know, I don't know if you mentioned anything about the, you know, the bumps, how it's, you know, I know that's a big improvement. Right. Yeah, and this bike has air ride suspension in the back, but the problem is the backrest is not detachable, and the way that it bolts on, it interferes with the valve to add air. So unfortunately, I don't know what the air pressure is for sure in the rear. Yeah, and I can feel where you're at too, you know, like, and then like if I'm stopping and I feel you're really leaning against me, like then I know I'm probably stopping a little hard, or you weren't ready for it, or you know, whatever the case. But I should almost go down there and take that little road. Ah, I found that stupid groove. Try not to get in that groove. So before we wrap this video up, because I know we've been recording for a while, testing this headphone setup and all this, the batteries are probably getting low. Is there anything you would like to add about your perspective? Like, when you're out riding on the back, what do you feel? Like, what does motorcycling do for you? Yeah, that's exactly how I feel too, you know, like even though I'm concentrating on where to go and all that, you still take it in, you know, like I'm looking forward, but yet I'm still taking in all this beauty. Like I mean, look at these trees, all the different colors in them. Like, I'm seeing that, I'm smelling those things, the feeling, and not being in a cage. Like, this is the freest you can be on the road, and not be in a cage, you know. And anybody who rides, I mean, you guys watching, I know a lot of you ride, and it's really a feeling you can't explain, you know. Trying to explain to somebody who's never ridden that feeling is, to me, sometimes kind of difficult.
So I just realized the microphone to the GoPro came unplugged.
Oh no, how long ago did that come unplugged?
I have no idea. I just happened to look down when I was turning the camera around and saw it was hanging out on my thumb.
Well, you probably got a mic. I don't know if it'll switch to the other mic or not, but probably not. Well, it probably didn't record anything. I don't, without you knowing when it came unplugged, I don't know what we got for footage.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Well, guys, I think we're going to end this moto vlog with that, because we don't know how much of Molly you even heard. So thanks for watching, coming along on this vlog. You will hear what you can hear. I guess I will see what I can do in post. Until next time, well, how about this? Thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed and you like watching motorcycle related content, be sure to go down and click that subscribe button. Ring that bell to get all of the notifications. Give this video a thumbs up and leave your comment below of what you think of this dual vlog type setup. But until next time, guys, peace out, and we will see you later. Bye bye.